Hey folks, my name is Benjamin of Disraeli. This is a tutorial for how to do Golden Trophy in solo mode. This is done on a PC, but in general, you could do it on a VR or anything else. So I'm going to be using a bow, and I grab a shield. Some people grab a sword, but anyway, you don't really have to hit any pots like you do on Jumbotron. You'll still get S rank because if you beat it, it means you didn't die. So Golden Trophy is a little bit more forgiving. So here in the beginning, it's really not too difficult. You can kind of, hang up on these boxes. There are going to be 2 waves of guys that spawn here at the end. This is the last wave. So the tutorial is mainly going to be helpful for maybe a couple spots. So like you get 2 spawns there. Just take them out early. And then once you cross this red carpet threshold here, you're going to get a spawn immediately behind you, 1 in front of you, and then 2 to the side. So just be careful. You can kind of play it how you want. I like to kind of go in and run a little bit. It's a little bit more dangerous this way, but that's just my preference. Alternatively, you could always just decide to come back and, go, hide behind this red carpet here and then hit the guy that comes down and then just kind of get the guys as they come through this choke point. That's a little bit more safe, in my opinion, and certainly I've played it that way before. So you get these 2 guys that come down. And then there are 3 waves in this room. So you got to go into the room a little bit more. If you're playing by yourself, you may just want to be a little bit careful and just kind of back up and let them come to you. This hallway here kind of represents a little choke point, so they'll mostly come to you. I mean, the flyers do keep their distance, but that's why you've got a bow and arrow. So. Now you've got to be careful when dealing with the second wave, because before you eliminate the second wave, you'll start the third wave. And so I think once one last guy is left, yeah. See, the third wave came down, and you saw where those 2 flyers came down. And they'll just kind of come down on you if you're not careful. So you can always retreat further into the hall, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. And just all you have to do with these things is you just dodge side to side. Let them shoot one of those fireballs at you, and then you just move just a little bit. Okay. All right, now in this one, you can use the ball and roll it down or not. You don't see an overwhelming number of guys anyway, so. And some people like to take the ball with them, but really that's a lot more trouble than it's worth. Okay, so you notice how I'm handling this from a little further away. Again, that's for a couple reasons. One, keeping my distance. Okay, now once you cross this line, you're going to cause a spawn to come up here. 3 guys, 3 flyers. So cross the line, go handle the 3 flyers. Now when playing with teammates, a lot of people will just run down there and cross that line, and you'll get surprised by that spawn that comes down. Okay, so once you cross those barrels, you're gonna get 4 guys, 4 flyers. So there we go. And a lot of times what's important is just start knocking them down with 1 shot. And then you can kind of deal with them once they're on the ground. Okay, so here we go. Now, you don't have to really run away. There's not like too many of them, but what I'm going to show you here is that you can just hang out in a high place. Now, really, this is 2 barrels. You could just stand on 1 barrel, or you could stand on like those gray boxes. I don't know that you could stand on a bench though, but maybe. I don't think I've tried. Anyway, I was just showing you kind of a different way, you know, because sometimes you need a little safety in the later levels. All right, Act 4. Now this is kind of where things get a little bit hectic. If you need some points, like when you're in a team mode, you know, don't forget about those. But once you come down here, you spawn these guys. You know, I like to take a few shots, and then really I primarily play from this spot here when I'm on single or when I'm doing a group game. And you can take these guys out with 1 shot, and you can take these guys out with 1 shot if you don't miss. But you know, they're easy enough. Okay, and there's going to be another wave. You gotta take them out. Okay, now, so you've got this wave of flyers that you've got to take out. Just remember, there are flyers that appear sometimes on both sides, and sometimes they don't just appear behind the bridge. Like, they'll appear on the other side, and so they're really close to you. Okay, so when you take these last flyers out, you're gonna spawn 2 of the big barrel guys. Now, there are 2 types of the barrel guys. There's the not so smart barrel guy, this guy. You can see he's kind of yellow. So what he does is, once he gets you in his sight, he just takes a swing and then goes. So really, you have a lot of time to move where you want. So look, he'll just swing, and you can move to the side and dodge. And you just kind of go where you want and hit them. So once you realize that that's kind of what they're doing, they're really easy to take out. Now this, what I like to do is I like to lead him to the back. That way the flyers aren't able to shoot at me, and at the same time I like to make sure I'm taking out all these grounders, so that really I only have him to worry about. So that's done. There are no more grounders. Let's see. Now they've made it to the other side, and there looks like 3 of them on the other side. And when they get close like this, their fireballs can shoot at you really quickly. So that's one thing to remember. And, you know, there are lots of pots in here if you want to get some points. So, also here, if you decide to hang out here during the game, you know, before it's completed, guys will drop down on you. The same is true for the other side. If you decide you want to go up there, you'll get surprised by a couple of grounders. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now, personally, I find this level a lot harder when I have teammates, because teammates will kind of randomly spawn guys, and guys will kind of run all around the map. So you get red guys running up behind you, running in front of you randomly. Now, all you have to do for this left side is hit those green guys, and then you can just go on to that side and, you know, finish off. But I like to kind of go in and just do this for fun. You just hop on a box here, and they can't hurt you. Okay, now we're gonna have 2 more red guys. No, 4 shots to them, 2 shots to them. Now, sometimes you'll see it takes me more, like it takes me 3 shots to the green guy. That's because I didn't pull my bow all the way back. Notice that sword. Sometimes people miss that if they join your game at this level and they need a weapon, and they don't realize there's a sword there. So there's also a crossbow on this side. People seem to find that one a lot easier for whatever reason. Alright, so I always take out the flyers before activating the room. Notice the room is not lit. That means it's not active yet. So, okay. Now, when it gets active, you'll see your red guy, your red flyer drop. So, you try and hit both of them before they can shoot out any of their fireballs. And they always drop in the same location. So, it's really important to know drop locations. Okay, so when you cross this carpet here, or curtain, 3 guys are going to drop. Okay, they're 3 green guys. Alright, so now you only have the guys in the middle left. It's going to be 3 red guys, and then 3 red guys. Red flyers, sorry. So I try and scoot in front of that because I don't want it to block me when I retreat. And I will retreat. So I try and get some shots. So notice looks like I caught one of those grounders. Alright, so that's grounder number 2, and I think that's grounder number 3 right here. Yep. Alright, now I'm going to hang back here and not really try and be too aggressive. The reason is after you get 2 of the red flyers here, 2 green guys are going to drop. Okay, and notice what I'm doing is I'm just kind of playing the corners. So boom, you know, I hit him, and then, you know, I just play the corners, play the angles. So these 2 green guys that dropped, they can drop on this side or that far side. You don't know, it's random. And so that's why I don't like to be in the middle. I don't want to be surprised. And so yeah, all I'm doing is I'm taking my time, just firing 1 or 2 shots. I'm not trying to dodge those yellow things very much. Really, I'm just trying to run away from them. Let the walls take the hits. You know, I've got the time to beat them, so it's a lot safer. Okay, so we're done. Now, there's a shield right there. Hopefully you saw it here. So, just if anyone needs a shield, it's always good to know that it's there. So, let's move in. Okay, now I like to know that, you know, there are weapons in here, so there's a shield and a sword. And what I like to do is I like to kind of get the debris out of the way. I mean, that's not really debris, but I like to get these 2 out of the way. And then just open fire. They won't really fire at you until you fire near them or at them, like so. Okay, so red guys are coming, so let's be safe. All right, so we're gonna jump up here where nobody can get us. They can't really do anything. So that's where I like to play this level at. Okay, so you're gonna see, boom, 2 flyers here. So it's important to get them. And remember, when they shoot, the flyers are always aiming for your head. So if you need to duck, all you gotta do is sit. There you go. Because the shot was at your head. Alternatively, you could put up your shield. So. Okay. Alright, so then there's this last wave of grounders before the barrels come out. So it's important to know your waves because it tells you kind of what you need to do. So these guys can't hit you when you're up here, so you're completely safe. Notice where I was shooting them, it was at the top. You don't have to shoot them on the back if you're above them. Okay, so there are a couple of spots, barrels. So see, they're like barrels all over. So there's a barrel right there if you want to get up on that bookcase. If you want to jump over, you can jump over this way. This jump, this you see where I just passed under? It caused 2 red guys, 2 red grounders. There we go. 2 red grounders to spawn and come at me. So keep that in mind when you decide to pass under there, because they'll just come down and they might surprise you if you didn't know about them. Okay, this guy can't get me here either because I'm on 2 barrels. So this last wave is the hardest wave, and I like to write it out in here. I got lucky because one of the air guys spawned in here, but really the only people that can hurt me are those air flyers, the red flyers. So otherwise you just kind of hang out and try and keep eliminating offense while also keeping an eye on any flyers, because they can kind of come very suddenly from the side. So this guy must be stuck. All right. And wow, okay, there you go. All right, so that's clear. All right. And so that level's not too bad. There's really only one dangerous spawn. Okay, so I like to get 1 red guy here, and then try and get these 2 green guys. The green guy on the left, I sometimes miss him. Yep, see, missed him there. So then what I like to do is he will try and sneak out of there, and like if you're focused on getting the guys on the ground, he can come out of there and hit you, and you're not looking. So I like to hit him and just wait on him. All right, so come over there and then finish up with these ground guys. So, all right, now this is just kind of a mad group of like a ton of guys. So do whatever you feel like you want to do. The safest is to retreat and make them all come through that wall, or that door rather. I like playing it from this room, but really make them all come through the door. That's a very small choke point. It's all about angles and choke points. So, okay, there's going to be a red flyer. Boom. Don't let him get off a shot. Wow. There we go. All right, now look up after you hit 2 of these, because there might be an air guy. Okay, does not appear to be, but you see the grounders and the green flyers, they can spawn randomly on each side. So they're, they might be on this side, they might be on the side you were on. It's always important to look, because sometimes it's hard to see them. Okay, so once you go in here, a red grounder may or may not spawn. So let's see if he will spawn. Does not look like he will. Okay, he did. Maybe I didn't go far enough in. Okay, but they kind of get stuck. So this hallway is great for running away. All right, now, usually I just run behind that guy and, attack him. But since we're playing it safe, I'm just going to lead him out and let him play it in here, since it's a bigger room. So boom, and then boom, get your angles, boom. All right, now, this is where it gets tricky. So what's going to happen is you're going to have 1 red guy spawn, and then possibly two green guys spawn behind you. So boom, boom. So I'm just knocking them over and running. Now you could use a shield and shield them. That's also safe. Okay, once you get that first red guy out, don't go anywhere, because another red guy is also spawning from the same place. So just wait a second. There he is. Okay, now you're good to go. All right. So in this last area, you are going to have 3 red grounders, 2 red flyers, and then once you eliminate the first red flyer, another red flyer is going to spawn. So I just like to throw an arrow at them and then run away, because I like to hit them all at this choke point. They get kind of stuck, and it's very difficult for the grounders to get through it. They can get through it, but it's pretty difficult. Now these yellow orbs here, they can kind of travel actually pretty far through this hallway, so do be a little careful. But okay, so now that means you have 1 red flyer left. So he's probably around this next hallway here. All right, and then you're done. Okay, so this final room is actually not too difficult. It's all about knowing the spawns, and that will tell you where to position yourself. Okay, so you just kind of knock off a few of these guys, and then I like to let this red guy kind of go and get myself up here, which this is my happy place. All right, now the next spawn is another spawn of grounders. So if you stand a little closer to that wooden bridge, they'll all come up here. Now you got to be careful, because it'll get to be so many of them that they may spill over. See, yeah, he started to spill over. So it's a weird thing that happens. Okay, I guess he's the last one. All right, now after this, you're gonna have, I think, 4 or maybe 5 flyers. I can't remember, spawn here or spawn over there. It's just random where they spawn. It could be, like 2 and 2, or all of them on one side. So just get ready. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. All right, so I guess it's 4. Now, you could go down there and handle it. I mean, and honestly, that would be a lot faster, and it's probably safe. I don't. So the next spawn is, again, more grounders, so you just kind of stay here in your happy place. See how I'm moving to the side there, and it brings those guys up. Now, if I turn around, then I will see these big barrel guys, which I will handle from up here. So I'm just going to shoot them at the top. Okay. Now, the next spawn is 1 flyer, 1 red flyer on each side. So, boop, he falls off because I try and catch him kind of early on his flight down. This guy's always tricky. You know, he's hiding behind that thing. All right, there you go. He's gone. All right, now I think there are 2 of these. Yep, there are 2 of these. And so again, same thing. Now, after you get both of these guys, it's the last spawn, which is mayhem. So it's like everywhere. So what do you focus on? There are 2 red flyers in that spawn, and that's all you need to do, is get those 2 red flyers. Missed, okay. All right, make sure while you're shooting at one, you've got your eye on the other, because he's probably firing on you. Okay, so now you've got those 2, now you're golden, nothing can hit you. Okay. Yep. So just kind of firing at some things there. You could hop on that ledge. I mean, not a big deal, and then look down, or you know, you could say, ooh, you know, I want to jump over here and get this position, and say, yeah, let me fire. And this is your last guy. Boom. Okay. So now we have all of our stuff. I mean, you could go through here. There's actually a basketball hidden by that basketball goal I was standing on. It's behind a pot. But if you see, there's already S rank, 153. So, all right. Now, I like to put up a shield because the boss, and I always look at the boss when moving, because see, he just threw stuff at me. So, and I like to hit him on this side for the first wave. So I want to get the first wave, and there are 3 waves, but I want to get the first wave of guys to come down while standing here. A lot of the offense will sometimes come in this hallway that's in front of me. Yeah, so there are 2 flyers and 2 green guys. That's a fair bit of it. And I don't want to back up too far, because I don't want the boss to just throw me a random, yellow or orange orb thing, because, I've had that happen. All right. Now, for whatever reason, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like these guys are harder on the boss due to like the narrow hallways and corridors, things like that. So, okay, that's the first wave. It's like 3 green guys, the barrel, a red and a green flyer. Okay, so I just stand over here, shoot them in the back, and then move. Now see, I probably could have gotten 2 shots off there. So, but it's a little bit slow, to be honest with you. But this is just my technique. You could probably do it a little faster, different way, but I don't want to be on the ground when a wave comes. So that's why I like to stay up here. So. All right. All right, so when wave 2 comes, my first priority is going to be flyers. If I see a flyer, and then that guy. Well, I take that back. Anyone that comes at me like that, I guess would be the first priority. See, you've got to be careful. You can't just look, at the open field for too long, because a flyer will kind of creep up on you and you won't notice it. And that'll get you. All right. So I'm trying to get this guy before this guy comes. All right. So I think that may be everything. Looks like it. But since I'm playing by myself, I'll just go check. Yep. All right. Here we go. Now, the third wave is the hardest wave. You're going to see 2 red flyers on the opposite end. Can't remember how many red guys you see, or red grounders, I mean, that you see. You always see a barrel in every wave. So I guess it's 3 red grounders. Now, the thing about those red flyers, it's very important that you don't try and go anywhere to deal with them, if at all possible. Just stay here, play your angles, and they become very easy. But if you try and go on that long hallway that they're on, and you've got 2 flyers shooting at you, it becomes a lot harder and a lot more risky. I mean, I know you can use the shield and get past them, and I'm not saying you can't do it, but okay, now there's no more waves to come, so you can just kind of pick a side that's a lot more open. This side is way more open than the other, and then boom, he's gone, and that's it. So hopefully that was helpful. I'll get donuts, but hopefully you're getting something better. But that's my tutorial, so feel free to leave any comments about any improvements or anything like that. Good luck.
Ready to stop.